All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we got some bad news. There's speculation coming out of Texas about Errol Spence Jr. and whether or not Errol Spence Jr. is really going to make a return, and what's going to happen when he does. New concerns over injuries, scaring people around him is the word out on the street. From a journalist that is the first person I actually met Errol Spence Jr.'s people from. So to hear it from this particular source is kind of disturbing, but let's get into that. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 154 to 60 pound division, where Errol Spence Jr. said he's making a return. Ran across an article written in a magazine called Three Kings. Three Kings has been around for a while, and it is. When I originally met Errol Spence Jr.'s father, Errol Sr., I had met them through some people associated with Three Kings. So when I saw this article and this conversation, it kind of bothered me. But at the same time, it's not much that I didn't understand, that I didn't know. But since I didn't know it, and what they're saying is related to that, it's just not a lot of good. It's not a good look, man. But before I get into the detail, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Can't do it without you guys. So thank you very much. Let's get into this. So Errol Spence Jr. has a series of fights, a number of fights that he's rumored to be in position to take. There is a fight at 154 pounds with Sebastian Fundora that was supposed to take place towards the end of this year. It may very well still take place at the end of this year. But of course, Errol Spence Jr. also came out and said that, he's on the hunt between 154 and 160, which led to speculation that Errol might very well fight the winner of Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara. So clearly a lot of questions about what he's going to do, when he's going to come back. But this article by Three Kings Boxing laid out some concerns around Errol Spence Jr. And I do believe the article referred to people around him and the concerns that they have for the fight and whether or not he's really in a position to come back. They bring up the issue related to his eyes. The biggest, in that particular article, they said the biggest concern with Errol, at least the one that they put out front, was issues with his eyes. Of course, you know that he had the car accident several years ago. He was fighting in position to fight Manny Pacquiao. In the lead into the Manny Pacquiao fight, he winds up having to have a torn retina and have that torn retina repaired. And then later on, after the Terrence Crawford fight, he has to have cataracts removed from his eyes. So people are wondering, whether or not that is going to continue to come up, whether or not his eyes are really all the way together. And, in boxing, it's a fairly important thing, man. You need your eyes. So that's bringing up concern for people. And then obviously there is the issue of the amount of time that he has taken off. And he is now, I think he fought last time he fought was back in April of 2022. I do believe he fought in 2022. I don't believe he fought, 2020. He fought in 2020. So it's been over a year in April since he's fought. And now you're looking at another 16 months. Once again, people are worried about inactivity because his inactivity is to the level of the extreme. So the combination of the car accident, the eyes, the layoffs have people legitimately, really worried about his return. And then you have to look also at what took place with Danny Garcia in his fight with Erislandy Lara. People often talk about Errol Spence Jr. as Errol Spence being a bigger guy at 147 and that he would be more comfortable at 154 or more comfortable at 160. That very well may be true, but you're still going to be getting in there against guys like that may feel more comfortable at 168 or 175 at 160 pounds, right? So you're there also, just like Errol was a bigger guy at 147, Jerron was a bigger guy at 147. There are also fighters that are much bigger guys at 160 pounds. Take, for example, what Danny Garcia ran into when he fought Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara wasn't skitterbugging around the ring like he used to do against guys that, were at his weight class or guys that, that were the same size as him. Somebody that started at 154 and then eventually after years moved to 160. But when he got in there with Danny Garcia, somebody that started at 140 and now is at 160, he didn't move down, he didn't take a step back. I mean, that's a little bit of a figure of speech, but he pretty much just walked these guys down because he was just bigger and stronger, and you can see it in there. So, I mean, legitimate people have these concerns about Errol and wonder whether or not it's very smart for him to come back. And I think it is a legitimate concern. But at the end of the day, Errol's got to make that determination, and he's got to make the determination along with his new trainer, which is something else that we don't know, or at least has not been announced, and people haven't even speculated about, which is who is going to train Errol Spence Jr. What is going to be the amount of time that it takes for those guys to work together and bond. So that was a general tone of the worry around Errol Spence Jr. Coming out of people from Dallas. But look, greater comebacks have happened for sure. Greater comebacks have happened, and it very well may be that the demise of Errol Spence Jr. is greatly exaggerated. I just got to say, hey man, when we see it, we'll see it. But I want him to hurry up and get in there and do it. Making this amount of time, if he continues to wait and continues to have these long layoffs, man, something really, really bad can happen. Again, you saw Danny Garcia, who's coming off that 2.5-year layoff, jumping in there with Erislandy Lara. He got that check. But nah, man, that was just not a good go. And I would not want to see Errol Spence Jr. in there with Erislandy Lara at 160 pounds. 154 pounds against guys like Tim Tszyu and such. Okay, let's give it a route. I'll give it a roll. But if he had intended to go to 160, I would say nah, probably not Erislandy Lara. I do think though that in lieu of Terrence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez, and I do think it's going to be in lieu, that Erislandy Lara is a good opportunity to match the things that he said that he wants to do, which is get career accolades and make a lot of money. I can't believe that Erislandy Lara, that somebody is going to pay Terrence Crawford any less for Erislandy Lara than they did for Israel Madmarov. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. It's just a crazy thing, man. Fighters get older, bodies break down. Eventually, for every fighter that you really enjoy and you want to see, this is going to happen. It happened with Floyd, happened with Manny, happened with Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter, man. Father time is undefeated, and what happens during the amount of time that you live can vary. It can be a car accident. It can just be gradual wear and tear. But eventually, it's going to get the best of you. That's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.